Hey, hello there. Welcome to Coisinhas DIY. My name is Angela, and today I'm going to show you how to make these 3D layered leaves on the Cricut Explore Air 2, which is apparently covered by the cat right now. By the way, that's Mocha. She's the boss. For this project, you're going to be using cardstock paper, and I have the 11 by 8.5 size, and these ones are in particular by Michaels, and they do really a very good job. Here it looks already how I cut them, so those are my negatives. There's always a little bit of paper left to cut out into something else, so I don't throw anything out. What you're going to need to glue the leaves together is hot glue, and I have a low temperature one that will do. To make your leaves look like they are somewhat wrinkly, I like to roll each side of the leaf inwards a little. I mean roll it, not fold it, because rolling looks more natural. For that, I use crochet hooks. Well, I crochet a lot, so I have tons of crochet hooks of all sizes. So if you don't crochet, you could use something that is like a dowel or a pen, but then you might want different thicknesses, so you might have to be a bit creative there on what you're going to use. Next, I'm going to show you how I made this project here on my Cricut design space. I made 4 layers for 4 different sizes of leaves. Then right after that, I will show you how I assembled these leaves and how I used this hook to make them look like they do right now. Here's the Cricut Access homepage, and you are going to open a new project. Go here to My Projects and click that plus sign, and you will get a brand new canvas to work on. Let's go into Images right here on your left. Click it, and all your images come up. The leaf I used for this project has a code, and you're going to type exactly what I'm going to type in right now. Hashtag, capital M, 8, capital A, 1, capital C, 8, capital B, and 3, and search. There is the leaf you want. Now click on it, and it shows right here at the bottom. If you suddenly didn't want it, you could just exit, right? And try something else. Let me just show you really quick another way to find this leaf. So there is your code. Just type in leaves, and you have 4,000 leaves to choose from. It just happened that the one I used is right here. So great, right? I clicked it, see? And it came down here. So let's say my leaf was way down the list, then it's better to go by code. So there's 2 ways of finding the leaves you want. So I clicked it here, and it's here. Now I want to keep it and add to my canvas. There it is. It looks like, where is it, right? But just scroll up, and there it is. For some reason, it goes down the list, down the canvas there. I don't really know why it does that. So keep it to the corner here. And I'm going to be making 4 different sizes of leaves. This one here, I'm going to duplicate it until I have 4 copies of this. So here is 1, and then right here on duplicate, I go for 2, 3, and 4. These here, I'm going to shove to the side for now. I'm just gonna keep this one here. Click on it, and you will see that it is already 3 inches tall by almost 3 inches here. I like to have a leaf that's a little bigger on the base, the green part of the leaf. So I will increase this to 3.5, this number here. I don't even care about this one right now. I just look at this one. I'll increase it to 3.5. I'm going to duplicate these until I have 6. So go here to duplicate, and I want 6. So there's 1 on my screen already. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now I'm going to arrange these 2 by 2, more or less, on top of each other. Now the thing is, I need to make sure that this fits a 8.5 by 11 cardstock paper. So right now, I might have to just use my top here as much as I can, and then bring this one here close by. Then if I go exactly one on top of the other, I am going to be beyond 11 here, and that's not what I can handle for that size of paper. So I'll have to shove this one here a little bit higher, so it comes all sort of on a diagonal. This one here kind of a bit on a diagonal either close as possible. So you keep experimenting here until you find the right space. And this one here, sort of on a diagonal here. So I'm good with 11. Now let's see that I don't pass 8.5. So it needs to go more or less here. So I'm almost there. I think now 8.5 is right there. I kind of eyeball it. That's perfect. That will fit a 8.5 by 11 cardstock paper just fine. Now unselect everything. I just clicked the screen. Now I have to select this whole thing. You could, yes, select the entire thing, but then these guys will be selected as well, and I don't want to select them. So let's undo that. I just want these here to be selected. So I'm going to click in the corner here. I'm going to click and hold the corner and start dragging, and there is a plus and a gray area coming, and if I drag it over the leaves, it will select all this. That's what I need to do now. From here, you need to weld it. Go down to the bottom here and weld it so that this all becomes one piece. Now my 3.5 size leaves are done. Now I want to work on the 3-inch leaves, which happens to be the perfect size here. So I don't have to actually do anything to change the size on these here. But I need to duplicate them. So it's selected, you see, and we'll go up to 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then just get them here organized 2 by 2s, one on top of the other. And because these are slightly smaller already, it's not so fussy to try to fit it into a 8.5. So I would say just sort of make it a diagonal here and you'll be good. It'll fit 8.5 by 11 in with no problem. All right, these selected. Now let's select just the 3-inch leaves. I click in the corner here and I start dragging over the ones I just made and released my mouse, and there it is, selected now, and weld. All right, now let's do the same process with the other leaves. Let's shove this one to the side. This one here, I like to go a 1/2 inch smaller. So now I have to decrease it to 2.5. As close as I can to 2.5. That's close enough to me. See, it's selected, yeah? And then you duplicate until you have 6 of them. And you will organize them one on top of the other, just like we've done so far. And the smaller they get, the easier they will fit inside a 8.5 by 11 paper. But you know, I always try to keep them together because when it prints, the more closer together, the more paper it will save on the margin here. You see, on a paper 11 by 8.5, it can be used for something else. So just kind of use your resources smartly, right? Good. So let's select these guys and weld. There we go. And bring it to the side. Let's do it one more time with these ones here. So now I want to bring it down to 2 inches. Tiny, tiny. That's perfectly on 2. That doesn't always happen. So here I will then, it's selected to see, duplicate until I have 6 already and organize them one on top of the other, and one more time weld. Yeah. And we are almost getting to the point where we will be able to cut them. Okay, there we go. Now select the whole thing, release, and weld. Wonderful. Now you have 4 layers. See, there is layer 1, 2, 3, and 4. I am going to, just for the visual, change the color of these leaves so that when we make it, we can distinguish the size. It's a little hard to see when we get there. This is where we change the color. So I'm just gonna pick my big ones. I wanna make them green, okay? Then these ones here, I like to make them red. So whatever, red. These guys here will be orange. So you could kind of more or less stay the color it was. Forgive me, I wanted orange on this, and then the little ones, I wanted yellow. So here is my layers. So change their color, right? Now let's go and make it. All right, so here it is. Cricut already lined it up here on 4 different layers. The first one, the bigger one, is the green one, so it's kind of going backwards. And the small one is here, and yeah, so kind of look at your paper and put the color in accordingly, because it's not necessarily printing them out. It didn't order it in size from biggest to small. It got a little random here. That's why the color code here is important. So you know that your first mat here, you will have to do red. Then the second, you'll change to orange, and then the third to yellow, and the fourth one to green. Now it's time to press continue. Before you do that, make sure that your Cricut machine is on and plugged into your computer. Super important. Believe me, I have done that and took me forever to figure out that it actually wasn't plugged in. So yeah, silly things like that happen. Now we press continue, and it's going to be looking for the machine. And at the screen, you know, it's saying for you to set the base material. And I set it to cardstock right here. And then as soon as it is ready, the arrow starts blinking. Then from here, set your paper on your mat. I have a light grip mat here, and my paper is 8.5 by 11, and it's nicely put on the edges. Okay, my mat is a little messy already. Yeah, so it's not wanting to stick a lot. So if yours is like that too, make sure you really press the corners so it doesn't lift. Okay, now from here, pick up your mat and make sure it gets into the machine right there on those spots. I don't know what they are called, but both sides equally, and that it's nicely touching the wheels, those turning wheels right there. The moment you press the arrow, you need to see the mat moving forward slightly. So let's go. I'm pressing and we moved it. Did you see that? Okay. That slight move of the mat into the Cricut is super important. Always look for that, because if it doesn't, it's not connected or it's not ready, and then it starts printing off and you waste paper and you have to cancel, and it's big trouble. So if that happens, it's a problem. From here, now I am going to press the C because it says it's ready to print. So ready, set, and go. And on the screen, you see that it's preparing, and then the machine starts doing its print. So there we go. I'm not gonna film here the entire printing process, but from 17%, when it's 100%, we're ready. And there, when it's 100%, it comes out like that, and it's ready to go. Now you have to press this to completely release it. And then from here, you take the paper off. And of course, doing this with one hand is complicated. So yeah, with both hands, just take it off gently, and then take each of the leaves off the mat and leave them aside. And let's do that, and then I will show you what to do with the next paper. So once you remove the paper, it's still blinking because our project is not done yet. And there is my first red leaves, and now it's time for orange. Because on the screen, it made a check mark here on the first layer. Now it's going to be working on this layer here, and I already prepped that orange for you. You don't have to do anything on the screen here. You go back to your machine. So here's the machine. It's still blinking. Bring the mat into it, and remember to watch out that it actually moves. So I'm pressing my thumb and holding this thing up here again, and let's go. There we go. It moves. Gotta move in, otherwise big trouble. Okay, then it's ready to go. So it's printing page 2. Preparing. See it on the screen? And again, it will do its printing. And so you are going to be working with page 3 and page 4, changing the colors accordingly. When we get to the end of page 4, I will show you how to finalize the project and save it with a name. So here we go. All the layers of my leaves are completed, and it's still blinking over there. And when it comes to the screen, you're seeing this right now. So you see check marks here on all 4 pages. And from now on here, you finish. And that's that. Now go ahead and pick up save here and give your project a name. So I'm gonna go and call it layered leaves. Oh, that was bad spelling. Layered leaves. There we go. And that will be number 1 because I might have other layered leaves coming up on my projects. Go ahead and save. Alrighty, now it's part of your project. So if you go back to your canvas, hello, where is it? There it is. Back to your, not the canvas, back to home. And my projects are opening up here. I have my layered leaves right here saved for you to go. Now we got to assemble the leaves, so let's have fun with that. To make the leaves look wrinkly like they are right now, slightly crunchy, I like to use crochet hooks to roll each leaf like inward like that, so it looks wrinkly but doesn't look folded. So I have crochet hooks here because I crochet, and this is a thick one. And this is a thin one, so I'll use the thick one for the bigger leaves and the thin one for the smaller leaves. But if you have, I would say, a mechanical pencil, a pen, that could work. It's just that if it's smaller, you need something a bit thinner to do that. Yeah, I have seen people use tools that are made for quilling, but I don't do quilling, so I don't have that tool. But if you have something like that, that should work. All right, so then I will also use hot glue to put them together. So let's get started. So pick up a leaf, and this is the largest. So I'm going to simply start at the bottom here and roll the leaf into this hook here. Yeah, the fact that there is a hook there doesn't really interfere in anything. And then just roll it around a little. Yeah. And that is how I do the leaves. So do that with all the sizes. So the bigger ones need something a little thicker, as I mentioned earlier. And it doesn't have to be a huge squeeze, just a roll into it will do. And here I will go for the smaller one. Exactly. And that makes the leaf look crunchy. I think that makes a fun detail to the leaf. And lastly, yellow. And then we're gonna glue them. Made a bunch there already, see? This is so much fun to do. I don't know. I enjoy this greatly. There. All right, so let's glue. I will start gluing on the second largest. I will start there first. And I'll glue that one into this one into this, and this one into that. That's what's going on here. So we start putting the glue in the back here. So really anywhere. Doesn't have to be a huge amount. And then join. Kind of be quick here because hot glue, you know. So I pretty much join the bottom so it looks like lined up. Then I'm good. That looks good to me. Then I go to the next size and do the same. Ta-da. And one more. All right. There. Oh, love it. There we go. That is my autumn leaf. So I'm going to do that with all of them. And then when I'm done, I'm going to show you all my precious fall leaves. There's all the leaves ready. And I did join them in depending on the side, I joined them differently. So you see the leaf has this stem that goes this way. So I made 3 of them go this way, see? And then the other 3 go that way. So I had to reverse them and because the paper is the same on each side, that worked. It might not work for all type of paper. If you have paper that is white in the back, then that might not work, right? But I'm saying in the wreath that I'm gonna make this, I like them to be proportional. And so there will be 3 on each side. So check out in the descriptions below the other video that I have where I use these leaves at a Thanksgiving wreath for Thanksgiving 2021. And that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this video was helpful. Please send a comment here on the comments on YouTube. I would love to hear from you. And please click a like as well. Don't forget to subscribe. Until the next project, bye.